This is Lahaul. Last time I had made a video, I think it was 5 days ago. That was from the room I'm staying at, looking down the valley. That that homestay is around a kilometers below on this road. Uh, so that was the morning when it had started to snow, and well, while snow always makes things beautiful, I think I've had enough snow for this lifetime. So, well, it does make things beautiful. So you can't deny that. It's nice to look at it from afar. But yeah, I'm sort of done with playing in the snow. uh, but that wasn't my only problem back then. My problem was more like this would delay my departure even more. But okay, let me stick to a chronological timeline instead of ranting. Uh, so I had come from there's a that's the river which is snaking through, and there's a road in parallel which is snaking through. That's a road which is coming from Sisu, and then if you see, that's the first bridge. That bridge goes to I don't remember the name of this town slash village, and uh, Tande is a mirror reflection of this thing on the mountain that I'm standing in. It looks just the same, and that's Tandi village. Tandi, the kilometer zero of Tandi is actually Tandi bridge. That is, if you would continue on this road and go this side, that will be some below there. That will be Tandi bridge. That road continues on to Kilang. That's NH3, and yeah, instead of continuing on that road, I came up to this mountain. There's a road which snakes through up and goes somewhere here, and that's the village. I think it's I forgot. I think it's Bogota, the specific village I'm staying at. Each cluster of 5 houses is a village, and the one I am in is Bogota. The one right next to it, another 5-10 houses, that's Funkiar, and then there's one called Sumnam, which is a bigger one uh, on the other, like towards that side on the same mountain, and the Sugnam has two. There's a upper Sugnam, there's a lower Sugnam, and there are many homestays here, and so like I think last time I was saying Sisu is going to be the new Manali. It sort of already is becoming that, and this place will also change, but in a different way. I feel this will become more of a uh, like exclusive resort type thing. Not necessarily expensive, but the word I'm using the word exclusive because this is not on the highway. So only people who know about this are going to come here, and I guess these people could set up boards on the highway about like homestays up there 7 kilometers up, but you don't really need to because uh, I mean many of them are already booked for this year, uh, like till July, and then there no guests right now. I think there is in the entire set of 4 villages I talked. I think there's one other family which had come. I saw a GNK number, a gypsy, but apart from that, there are no guests right now. But that is just like because it was snowing and the tunnel was closed and stuff. I think even after a few days, this is going to start getting packed, and these will all be online bookings. So it'll not be like people like stupid people like me who are like roaming around in a cycle trying to find a place to stay. That is not how it works here. These are all like places which are booked for like multiple days in advance online, and yeah. So yeah, I think that trend will keep on growing. That's what I meant by exclusive. Maybe the prices will also increase, or maybe more of the village people will convert into homestays to match the demand. But there is definitely going to be a demand, and this is all pretty new which is happening here, this change. uh, this started in 2021 after the tunnel was opened. Because see, before the tunnel, uh, like okay, maybe I'll tell you about, if you remember, in Sisu there was a helipad which you could see uh, below, and there are other helipads here, and there's one here right below this crest. So the reason those helipads are there is that before tunnel, that was how you would get to the Manali side in the remaining 9 months when the Rohtang Pass was closed. And so each seat, uh, I mean, I don't know if the government ran those helicopters or they were private. I guess it would have been a mixture. The seats were not expensive. You could get a single person seat for 1,500 bucks, which is reasonable because you'll actually end up paying more for a taxi right now uh, to go to Manali if you get a private taxi. The problem was that you had to book in advance, and there were reservations, and in the worst cases it could run up to a month of like backlog. Not always, generally you would get a seat in a few days, but yeah, that's how people used to, locals used to go there to get stuff and things. So I mean, that is not to say that people did not come to these homestays earlier. The Rotang Pass was did open for multiple months, 3 months, 4 months if we were lucky. So people did come here, but it was not, it was a very different quantitative threshold than now in the last 2 years. And so I think it is very drastically changing and it will keep on changing. I could not recognize Manali after I came back to it after 10 years, and I think it had changed for the worse. And I fear this is the same thing will happen for this place. uh, I mean, that's bad. Maybe I should consider myself lucky to come here at a time when it's very nice and serene. uh, okay, so I mean, I guess I'll just mention one more thing which I found interesting, which was like, so I went to the Upper Sumnam village, and I was talking to the owner of the oldest homestay in this place apparently. And so right next to his homestay, he had he has a mud house. So that is where they used to put the cows, and now there are no cows, and they don't need the cows. So that was empty. I mean, there are multiple mud houses here. Generally, like I guess like even the homestay I'm staying has, the owner has two more mud houses next to his. One of them, there's a bull living right now, and um, the other one is, I think, empty. There's nothing there, so they're not in use. Uh, they Some of them are destroyed. So, but okay, this the mud house that I'm talking about, that is being renovated. So that person was telling me that there is so much demand that so last year apparently some of the people who came to visit, they said they'd like to live in the mud house for longer durations. And so he got it renovated. It was being renovated when I was talking to him yesterday. It will be done in a few days. There'll be two rooms there for long stays. There was apparently someone who came from Switzerland last year for 10 days. They wanted to come back and stay in the mud house this year, so they have already booked it for 1 month. And basically that homestay was booked for this entire season already. Okay, enough of homestays. Although I should actually mention my own homestay, which all, okay, too many thoughts. uh, some people asked me last time, uh, like, where is there a toilet I can use and stuff, am I going outside and stuff. No, I'm actually in a very comfy place. The room I am is tiny, but the rest of the house is like really splendid. It's a old house. It's a mud house actually. It's a renovated mud house, and it's like nice and warm-ish out inside. And so there's a guest toilet downstairs. I mean, the actual homestay rooms have a toilet of their own, but I mean, there's a guest toilet I can use anytime. There's hot water if I want to use it. I didn't really feel the need to. And There's also a very nice dining area, and maybe I'll try to put a picture of it in the video. So in the middle of the room there's a tandoor, and there's like wood burning there all day. So that room is very comfy, very nice and warm, especially because it is a contrast to how it is outside. And there's a window you can look out, and on the tandoor, the landlady, she keeps on also making food and heating water continuously. So yeah, I'm being very well taken care of by Mr. Arvind and his wife, and thank you to them. uh, so okay, yeah, so let me maybe say a bit about the geography of this place. So that river is the Chandra river, which is coming here now. That's the blue colored river. There's a river which is coming from there, that side, Kelong side, and that is where I will be eventually going towards, uh, God permits. So yeah, that river which comes there, that's the Bhaga river, and if you can see at the bottom, that is a Sangam. And the ferocious Bhaga river is melting into the rather serene Chandra river here, and then they together become Chandrabhaga. Now it keeps on getting interesting here. So now this will keep on going on this valley. This will go to Punjab, and this is what becomes Chenab. And I didn't actually know this. Maybe I should have known this. That the Chenab is then goes on towards Pakistan, and it is a very important river, not just for Punjab, but also for Pakistan in terms of providing water to the lands. So as you can imagine, um, what India and Pakistan tend to be naughty about this, because it's a very important natural resource, and there is constant bickering that keeps on happening about this river. But it originates here. The people here consider that Sangam as a holy site. Then there's another holy site, which is the peak. If you see at the top, there's a small thing jutting out, and uh, then there is the third holy site, which is that temple you can see right in front. And uh, that it's not a temple, it's a monastery. It's a mixture of both. I've not been to this one, but I had been to one near Sisu. And so what here the monasteries, they also have a Hindu idol in the this thing, and they also have a ghanta at the entrance. So it's a mixture of a temple and a monastery. uh, there'll be monks there, but Hindu holy people also tend to visit the same thing. So it's a monastery which also serves as a temple. So yeah, that's the one which is there. You can actually walk up to that one, and later on, I guess for accessibility reasons, they opened a branch of that one, the one you see there. That is very like much easily accessible. It looks a bit far if you look at it when you're at the road, but it's not. It's there's also a road which is snaking up to it, but you can also walk up to it, because right below where you can't see, right there is a small, that's where the Tandi bridge is. There's shops there, and there's a way to walk up there around, I think, 100 meters. Maybe I'll also tell you what I've been up to. I don't actually remember. uh, I think, yeah, the 2 days of snow were quite bad, I guess, because, well, it is always lovely to see snow from afar, and there's no denying that. And even now, I am enjoying the view. Uh, Although you will see that I'm wearing sunglasses, and that's because of the snow and the sun here. Uh, it is blinding to look at the snow without sunglasses. And yesterday I was walking when I just realized this. I mean, maybe this is amateur biology and wrong, but I realized that this is the reason why people in the mountains, they are genetically, they have like smaller eye slits, because otherwise you can't see if there is snow and very bright sun. So yeah, I sort of Yeah, okay, I don't know if that is the real reason, but that's a conjecture nevertheless. So uh, where was I? Sunglasses, no. Okay, yeah, so after 2 days, yeah, I was saying that I was not really in a good place because after the second day, and then when I was going to sleep at night, I was like, dude, my trip is gone. Because if it kept snowing that way, there was no way the pass ahead was going to open before June, and that is like too far ahead. And I mean, I wasn't sad, but it was like it would be very disappointing to go back after I have like almost started the trip and the good parts are yet to come. So not feeling very great. Then the next day morning, I woke up and I mean, I don't know. It's a triple, quadruple bonanza I had because firstly, it was the snow had stopped. Secondly, there was a bright sun, and the nice thing about the sun here is that it is also warm. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that I'm wearing a t-shirt right now, and it's warm. I mean, it'll suddenly change if I go to a shade. I mean, even today, like, so the temperatures are, I don't know the exact temperature. The temperature that Apple gives here is wrong. I guess they have a single sensor for entire Lahore and Spiti, so it is somewhere else. That's not temperature here, whatever they're reporting. But anyway, so the temperature is a bit below zero because the pipes froze today. There was no water in one of the pipes, but it's not like too extreme. I think it will be like -1 or something, 0 or -1. But it is cold. But when you're in the sun, you don't need like, okay, there's suddenly a wind, and now I feel a bit cold. I'm carrying my jacket with me, so it could suddenly change because whenever there are clouds, it will get cold. But coming back to that day, yeah, so there was a very bright sun. It was warm, and like as capricious as hope is, it is always a welcome friend. So with all of that came the hope that suddenly I thought, dude, this sun will just melt away all the snow away, and I'll be back on the highway with it being open very soon. And so yeah, hope came back, and I had one more surprise. So the owners of the homestay, they made a surprise breakfast for me, and it's a special breakfast. So it's a thing called Marchu. It's a cross between a bhatura and a puri. It's the size of a big puri, but it sort of is like a bhatura, and it also has uh, the local black small jeera in it. And and the fun did not stop there. So they made that with aloo, and so uh, the owners, they, I mean, it's not just the house that they own, they also own multiple farms behind, ahead, the place. So they have a small uh, apple orchard next to the house. There are no apples right now there, but I mean, they grow all sorts of exotic stuff here. So there's also, like, I had broccoli kachar, and it is, I thought it was tastier than actual broccoli. uh, so broccoli is one of the things which grows here. I don't know if you can see the uh, greenhouses that litter the landscape. There's one right in front of my window also. That's where they grow those saplings of these things. Then they put them in the normal farms. So there's broccoli, there's iceberg lettuce. Coming back to this broccoli, and yeah, I was saying that we went to the apple orchard. So that is full of snow, just like how this place is full of snow. That place was just full of knee length snow, because it was the first time snow had stopped, and they had tables there. In summers, when the guests would come, they would have their food there. When of course there's no snow, but right now we just like took the stuff, we went there under the sun, looking at the same view, and we had a splendid breakfast, and I was in high hopes. uh, I don't know what else did I do. I shoveled a lot of snow. It is harder than it seems, and I also realize I have less strength than I think I have. uh, so I think snow, what else did I do? Oh well, I also helped. Well, I didn't do any helping, but so what happened was, one day evening I was just walking on the road, And if you can see this road right now, so this is a village road connecting, well, two villages. And so these get cleaned up of snow by the Himachal Pradesh PWD department. They have JCBs. So in the winters they clean it up quite promptly. There will be like a JCB with operators sitting in the village, and they'll just clean the thing almost the next day morning. This summer snow is a bit not okay. Spring snow is a bit more unexpected in the amount of volume. So they came only after 2 days. So they were coming up and they were trying to clear this road, and I was walking. So he said if I wanted to sit along, I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah, which actually I think this is the place where we stopped. So what was he was trying to do was he was trying to clean this road from the bottom, and he was coming. The actual main village road is to Marbar or Marble. I don't know how to pronounce that village. That's where I'll try to go today. Uh, so he came up to this point. I now remember, and then he stopped because there was a lot of snow. And so he said he'll clean the rest of the path the next day. Meanwhile, he'll go back and he'll clean the path because there's a separate side road of the smaller village road which goes to Funkiar and Bogta, where I'm staying. So he said he'll go inside and clean that road, and he asked if I wanted to sit along. He'll drop me at home because, as I was saying earlier, I think the last time, the homestay I am at is literally at the end of the road, the side road. So he said he'll drop me. He knew the person who runs the homestay. Everyone knows everyone here, and yeah. So I didn't help, but I think I gave him moral support. I don't think he needed it while he was cleaning the roads. The owner of my homestay, he actually has a Maruti 800, and it was a conscious choice he made. He preferred that car. He just bought it like I think 3-4 years ago. He was telling me, and because it has very good mileage, it's light, so you can push it out of snow. And I went with him yesterday to Tandy for getting some stuff, and he was just like rambling down the entire road, which you can imagine wasn't feeling very nice to me because right now the snow has melted, but after the JCB had gone, it was more like this. Yeah, I guess it was a bit better than this, but I mean, I I'll see if I have a picture. So it wasn't really the cleanest of roads. I mean, if you're in a gypsy, you will feel comfortable. If you're in a 4x4, which is what most people have here, uh, the taxis and everything. Uh, if you have a four-wheel drive, you will feel safe on that road. It wasn't like too extreme, but in a Maruti, it felt like okay, wow, is this really happening? And he was. It's not even he was tiptoeing around. He was just like going full on, and. Yeah, he has been to Rotang Pass on that Maruti. He has been to Baralachala, that Maruti. He's quite a rock star, he is. So, talking of wheels, cycle, the rear, I don't know what is the exact issue. Think it is the ball bearings in the rear wheel axle, they are gone. And I'm a bit miffed at the mechanic in Manali. He should have sort of figured this out and foreseen it because I started getting troubles almost after so long. And when I came from Sisu to Tandi, that day it was very apparent because the entire rear wheel just wobbles like this. And I mean, that bubbling is, I mean, I guess it is dangerous, of course, in multiple ways. Because if you're going fast downhill and the rear wheel locks up, it's not a good place to be in. I don't think it is that bad right now, uh, but there is always this danger that, I mean, even though it might not suddenly lock up, it'll like slowly grind to a halt, and then I'll be stuck on some road up ahead. It'll keep on getting more and more isolated. So uh, that's not good. But beyond that, there's another, like, it's not really a danger. It is more like a psychological thing, which is I have lost trust in the cycle because it's very hard to have trust in the cycle when you're going downhill at like very high speeds and the wheel is wobbling. and so it's not fun. So I, of course, think the logical thing would be for me to go back to Manali and get it repaired. I think it can get repaired. It's if that mechanic had been a bit more thorough, he would have figured this would is going to be a problem and repaired it any first time only. But anyways, so I don't really want to go back to Manali in a cycle. That doesn't sound. It sounds boring, and plus it'll also be like a bunch of money I'll have to spend, because I'll have to stay in Manali while it gets repaired, and because I mean I can't go in a cycle to Manali and come back the same way and also get it repaired. So I'll have to stay at least one day, if not more. Uh, and now it'll be like full on tourist season in Manali, and the rates will be like super duper high and stuff. That's one aspect. I just don't feel like going to Manali, back to Manali in a cycle. So uh, that is a bit of a downer. But since I have so many days, I mean, I don't know what today is. It's what, not even near the end of April, and I think 5th or 7th May is a good realistic hoping estimate of when I can start making progress up ahead, if too optimistic. Anyway, so I have enough days now, and I've shoveled snow, I've sat in a JCB, I've had Marchu. Uh, so the next, I have all these days to figure out how to get the cycle repaired without getting the cycle to Manali. I think I'll try Kelong. I'll just try to go to Kelong. I'll walk there, or I mean, now that the roads are all open, there will be like HP state government buses which are running. Them, I think they have a hourly frequency or 2 hourly frequency. They're anyways local taxis. They'll be a bit more expensive shared taxis. Uh, so I mean I can take a bus or a taxi, or just walk to Kelang. There are bike shops there. I can talk to those guys, and I can. Uh, I mean, basically, they will not have the spare parts, but I can say that, dude, if you can figure this out, how to set this up, I'll go back to Manali in a bus one day, get whatever you need, and that's one thing. The other option I am thinking is, so after I had uh, started from Sisu around 4 kilometers up from Sisu, I think it's Khangsar, I don't remember the name. So there's a place, uh, there was a cycle rental shop there, and it's a fairly new shop. He opened last year. There's his market research basically was, I think he did his homework. Maybe he was earlier running a shop in Manali. What he was saying was that there are many people who are not like idiots like me, and who want to, because see, the road from Manali to the end of the tunnel is uh, it's not bad or anything, but it's relatively steep. I mean, it's okay from Manali to Solang. From Sonang to the tunnel is quite steep, and the views there are okay, but the views on this side are just like a different beast. So there are people who want to cycle on these roads. Plus, also these roads are very gentle. Um, I mean, they are very well made. So the slopes are. It's not very gentle, but it's not very extreme. Also, you can take a cycle a bit uphill, and then you can go quite fast downhill, and it's like it's fun. The cycling is fun, and of course the views are fun. So people just want to cycle here. They don't want to do the donkey work of getting the cycle up till this point. So that's why he opened a shop here, and he doesn't do long term rentals. It's like hourly rentals, 200 bucks, and for people who are here already for some reason and just chilling and just want to like have fun on a bike. And so yeah, so that guy did not have a mechanic, and so maybe I'll go back to him. I don't know, take a walk or take a bus, and I'll tell him, dude, tell me what stuff you need. I'll get it from Manali. Then we can sit together and try to figure it out. uh, I mean, he knew some stuff. Maybe he was underselling himself. Maybe he or himself would be able to repair it. If nothing happens, I'll have to go back to Manali in the cycle with the cycle, or I don't know. maybe just carry on. Let's see. There are lots of days to spend here, and ciao.